and this is a really interesting concept I've been playing around with. If you can build some form of a game with the dog, like whatever it is that they absolutely love, and it depends on what the dog, happens to love, but you find that activity, and that's something that you guys do 1 or 2 times a day, or even if it's just once a day, and it gets so good that the dog becomes like neurotic and obsessive over it. What you can then do is you can start harnessing that and only using it when certain things happen, so you can essentially like counter condition it, right? The idea would be almost the same as muzzle conditioning. The problem with like muzzle conditioning is people tend to only put a muzzle on the dog when they need it. And when do they need it? You're going to the vet and you're going to get poked because you need your vaccinations and all this stuff. So the muzzle now represents going to the vet. And before you know it, you have a dog that is like, I'm not letting you put the muzzle on me. And like, we're the owners, we're the handlers. Now he's like, I'm not even letting you put it on because I know it means we're going to this vet. It's actually kind of easy if you have something that a dog loves. So the thing is, put the muzzle on first, right? The dog's gonna hate it while it's on. Take him to his favorite place. Could be your backyard, could be the schoolyard. Sometimes we're using basketball courts in the city. Muzzle comes off, play the dog's favorite game. Could be scent detection, could be fetch, could be tug, could be exploring, but the thing that the dog absolutely loves could be working him for his food, whatever it is, that happens. And every single day you do the same thing. Forget the vet, hold all vet visits. What's gonna happen one day is muzzle comes on, dog hates it, we go to our spot, comes off, we play, right? Muzzle goes on, we go to this favorite spot, muzzle comes off, we play this game. There will be a moment where when you grab that muzzle inside the house, you see your dog start to anticipate. And all of a sudden in that moment, you go, oh my gosh, the muzzle now represents we're going to do this thing. We kind of almost want to take the same approach when the plumber comes over or when delivery comes over. And if I have to run up a larger tab for seamless or whatever the food delivery spot is that thing's going to happen. And then we're going to play the dog's favorite game, or we're going to do this thing so that it can hopefully start to take on an association, just like the muzzle is. Whatever the dog knows least is going to come first in the sequence. It's going to represent what happens next. So as long as the plumber coming over, or the seamless guy coming over, doesn't result in him trying to be, I don't know, J-Jack calls it the man in the van, where it's like, hey, like I got some candy, kid, like come over here, so you can reach and force a pet. As long as it's not a trap, that person or this experience can start to change and can start to represent something different for that dog. And you can do the same thing for food. Instead of the dog needing to approach the plumber, it could be something as simple as, hey man, just before you fix that pipe, here's some food. Can you just say, get it, and throw the food, not closer to you, but like past you over there. And now a dog starts to represent, or a dog starts expecting that when people come over, he's gonna throw that food. Now, maybe you have a dog that's still barking and we can address and have that conversation a little bit, but the bark is different because now it's a little bit of an excited bark, expecting that something's going to happen, and the dog feels better about the person coming over, instead of possibly thinking that every time the doorbell rings, I'm going to get stimmed with the remote or popped with the collar to go on place or do whatever, and have the dog think that the only reason I'm feeling this is because of you coming over. If you never came over, I would never feel this. So just some things that we need to consider. A lot of it depends on where we are with the dog. Does the dog just need space first? Are we ready to start introducing and doing these things? Do we have a game or something that the dog really loves? If we don't, do we want to be building it around when the plumber or seamless guy comes over? Maybe we need to build it separately and then start to have these conversations. And prior to that, I'm just putting you away in the room, less than ideal, but it's what I need for right now. These are all the things that I try to think about when I'm working with the dog.